What's going on, everybody? John Eric Poli here with another interview for my MMA news. And today, from the state of Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland to be exact, Tucker Lutz is joining us. Tucker, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me on.
I'm good, man. And, just to fill everybody in on here, what we're going to be talking about today, we're going to be talking about your recent win on the Dana White Contender Series. Obviously, you defeated Chase Gibson, I believe that was 2 weeks ago. And before we start breaking down your fight and getting the X's and O's of that, I got to ask, just to fill everybody in, Dana White did not give you a UFC contract despite a dominant victory in which you won all 3 rounds. But he did invite you back to the Contender Series for November. Did you accept his offer? Will we see you back on the Contender Series this November?
Yeah, for sure. I'll be back. We have no date or opponent yet, but so I've already been back to the grind as far as training goes, so staying ready.
Yeah, man, I want to talk about that fight now. And, like I said before, you won all 3 rounds convincingly, but you yourself weren't even happy with your own performance. You came right out as soon as the fight was over and said that. Why weren't you happy with the fight that you won so easily?
Well, so for all my fights, it's I hate going to the judges. I feel like the essence of an MMA bout is going for the finish, and so and especially with the Contender Series, they want a stamp on that. And I mean, obviously, I didn't get the contract, and can't help but feel going to the decision didn't help with that.
And that's, where I was going with all this was the finish. Do you feel that there's more pressure going on a show like the Contender Series that you need to get a finish in order to get a UFC contract because of how much Dana likes seeing finishes? Like, do you feel that if you get a decision like you did, you're almost, that you're not guaranteed that slot there, that you must go out there and have the pressure on you to get a finish?
Yeah, that was my mindset, and really the whole camp with my team was we kind of knew that we had to get one, and that was obviously evident.
So now you and Dana White actually had a brief back and forth. In case nobody saw it on the broadcast, just explain to everyone what that back and forth was like between you and Dana when you went up to him at his seat that was cage side during the fight.
Yeah, all I said was I owe him a finish. Next time I got him on the finish, I was hoping it would be in the UFC, but honestly, it's good to be invited back and just staying busy with him.
And I want to ask you about your preparation a little bit for this fight because it was a little difficult, right? You had what 3 weeks only to get prepared to go out here for what was the biggest fight of your life with the UFC contract on the line.
Yeah, so I had been training. My management, they gave me the heads up. They were like, "Hey, your name's been in the pool, so stay ready." And then we had an opponent fall out like a week before, so that was, I mean, it's annoying, but that's kind of the story of my pro career. Is like probably half my fights have been on people falling out and getting someone new 3 weeks or less. But I mean, with COVID, it was definitely different. Like I pretty much only trained with like the same 10 or 11 people just to stay on the safe side of not exposing myself. But it was definitely a grind for sure.
And now, when you're preparing for a fight, it's a little bit more difficult than what other fighters are used to because you're not somebody that has just full access to the gym, all the time. That's all you do all day because you have to go out and work a full time job. So, explain what it is that you exactly do for a living and then how you balance working full time 40 hours a week and training.
Yeah, so I do HVAC install for, I put in and take out heating and cooling systems. But I mean, it's essentially I work 8 to 10 hours in the day, go right to the gym, train 2 3 hours, and rinse, wash, repeat, do it over again. Luckily, my company, that's like my second family. They gave me an extended leave of absence, and I just extended that too. So for this fight, we'll have my full attention where I can train multiple times a day.
And of course, obviously, you're training out of Baltimore, Maryland. There, what's the MMA scene like in Maryland? Because we don't hear too much about Baltimore and the whole MMA scene out there.
Honestly, we have a room full of killers. I think the DMV in general has is kind of flying under the radar, but we have some really good strikers just in pure kickboxing aspect. But like my team, Ground Control, well, we've been having like 25, 30 people in our MMA sessions of and all good guys. We got probably 7 to 10 pros, and then a lot of amateurs who are really close to crossing that threshold. But yeah, it was kind of coincident that it was me who got the call because it could have been 4 or 5 other guys from my team who are qualified for it, and I'm hoping will be on the same card as me. So I think that it's one of those things that once I get in the UFC, there's going to be a bunch of other people nipping at my heels and blow the scene up.
So now we've seen plenty of fighters, whether they love their hometown, they want to stay there, but when it comes time for fight camp, they leave. They go somewhere else for a few weeks and train. Do you ever plan on doing something like that, or are you a Maryland guy, thick and thin, and you're going to stay right there in Baltimore and do your training there?
Yeah, I plan on staying. This is my home, and we're building something special now. So I think in the next few years we're going to be a gym that people start flying out and training with us. But I've been to Faber's gym a couple times on the West Coast, so it's nice traveling and switching it up. But as far as doing my camps, yeah, I plan on doing them back home. We're building something special over here.
Yeah, I didn't even know that you did that. That you went out there to Team Alpha Male at Uriah Faber and train out there. So talk a little bit about that because obviously you have Uriah, who's one of the best to ever do it. He's a UFC Hall of Famer, but he's one hell of a coach too. All of his fighters are fighting at elite levels like the UFC and ranked pretty high there too. So explain what that was like training with Uriah Faber and Team Alpha Male.
Yeah, it was great, man. I still got some friends over that way. I've made some good relationships, but yeah, it was awesome. Beautiful facility, uh, super welcoming too, and just a wealth of knowledge in many different areas. Their coaching staff is phenomenal.
So now I want to back up a little bit to when you were actually growing up. They said it on the broadcast, and I have to bring this up. Did you really play the viola growing up?
I did, yeah. I played viola for from 5th grade to 12th grade. Yeah, I was in the orchestra.
Man, that's pretty cool that you played it like that, man. That's something that's very unique. There, I never thought of a fighter to be a viola player like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was okay with it. I'm a guitar player also. I'm better at guitar. But yeah, I've been a musician pretty much since the 4th or 5th grade and I still play guitar. I don't play viola anymore, but my sister does. But yeah, I mean, it was cool. It got me out of taking art class. So
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't want to take art classes either. But I want to ask you too, musically. I know you said you play the guitar there. Do you? I guess do you still active in music? Do you still like playing? And what kind of music do you play? And also, what kind of music do you jam out to?
so when I'm playing guitar, I'll link up with some homies and we like my buddy Alex is a drummer. My buddy Alex plays drums, so I kind of got like a heavy blues and kind of jazz background. But like as far as music that I listen to, like I grew up on classic rock, so Pink Floyd's my favorite band. So I listen to a lot of indie music too.
All right, yeah, I know Pink Floyd. My dad's actually a Pink Floyd fan. They were popular when he was growing up. And Tucker, one last Maryland question for you that I have to ask with the NFL season right around the corner, being that you're right there in Baltimore. Are you a Ravens fan?
I am, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, obviously. So now the Ravens, great year last year. Do you have high hopes for them this year?
I yeah, man. I'm thinking, we kind of had a rough go in the playoff games, but I feel like a little bit more humble heads will get the Super Bowl for sure.
Yeah, well, they definitely have a lot to build off of last season. There, like you said, the top seed in the AFC. Then you also had Lamar Jackson being the MVP. If you can't tell, obviously, or anyone can't tell out there by this cheesehead over here, I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, so I'm hoping that they have a great season there as well. But we'll see what happens. Looking forward to that. Tucker, man, it's been real. Thanks for the time. Before you get going, though, you want to go ahead and plug your social media management, sponsors, anything like that you didn't get to touch on yet, please feel free to do so now.
Yeah, so check me out. Instagram's at Top Gun Tuck. I think the same for Twitter. I never go on there anymore. Facebook, Top Gun Tucker Lutz. Really just want anyone in the Baltimore DMV area, come check out my gym, Ground Control. We got 3 locations, Rosedale, Owings Mills, and Columbia. I'm mostly at Owings Mills, so anyone and everyone come through.
All right, Tucker, thanks for the time once again. And just a reminder to all you guys out there, go ahead, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can see more interviews that come up. And also, just reminder, please go to MyMMANews. Keep checking that out. We put out great content every single day. Also, go to our social media accounts. Give us likes and give us a follow on those as well. We appreciate it, as always. Until next time, we'll see you later, everybody.